So let me introduce you to distinct gentlemen here with me, and who will be discussing about angel investing, syndicates, all kind of. That's first Mr. Janne Jormalainen, who's a serial entrepreneur, long-term angel investor. I think he has got 30, 40 angel investment. Plus, he's recently been elected to become the president of the European Business Angel Network. So welcome, Janne.
Thank you.
And then we have Herman Kienhuis from Netherlands, and he's a former engineer, chemical engineer, was at McKinsey, then he worked in the media world for the Sanoma Venture. Now he's been investor for the past 8-9 years, and now currently running angel syndicate called River Venture Partners, and perhaps looking to set up a new VC fund here in the future. Welcome, Herman.
Thank you. Great to be here. So we have a very short session.
Yes, so I will let you guys jump on it, and we'll see you in about 10 minutes.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, nice to be sharing some thoughts and some practices with you, Janne, and with the audience. So we discussed basically 3 questions: tips on angel investing, how to build a portfolio, and then talking about cross-border angel investing. About the first topic, shall I start, Janne?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I think, what I started with was the first idea is invest only in what you know. I came from a digital product, digital media group, and started investing basically in these software companies that I knew that I had built myself. So that's how I started. Of course, I got to know different segments while looking at all kinds of different companies. So it broadened. It also included, when I was working at KPN, cybersecurity, digital healthcare, IoT. But I always kept, focusing on the stuff that I knew. So that would be my first tip. Second one is I always focus on customers. So customer references, checking with customers. Is this like really interesting? Is this really a solution to their problem? I'm not. Well, of course, I trust the entrepreneur that, his story should be strong, but I always want some validation with customers. That would be my second tip. And the third tip would be to work with others, to invest together with others, other angels, maybe a seed fund, because it helps not only in validation, but also it helps in adding value while you're, on board of this company. If you have more people on board with more different perspectives, different backgrounds, you can add more value and create a bigger success. That would be my first 3 tips. There's much more there, but I'll leave it to you now to add some more.
Yeah, those are absolutely great tips. I made my first angel investment some 16 years ago, almost 17 years ago. And that was to a company that went bankrupt maybe 8 months after my investment. So it wasn't that, but very good investment. Yeah. But I wish I would have had the opportunity to learn from others. So I think that, my kind of perspective to angel investing is that it's really great to seek, the company of other angels, whether that's in a local business angel network or perhaps in a other startup ecosystem community. So it's really important that you have that support network around you and that you learn. This is also a trait that you can actually learn a lot more, every day. And that's also one of the key things why I chose to. I think that it's really important for all of us who are angel investors to actually learn more every day, and that we can do by learning from others. So I think seeking the company of other angels and doing investments together is really my key tip for everybody.
All right.
So then I think that the second question we talked about was how to build a portfolio. And I think that, this is a very interesting question because as we know from the statistics, it's typically so that over half of the companies that you invest into, you lose everything. Maybe 1/3 you make something back or you make some kind of return. and then less than 10% will actually make the financial return that you will make, throughout your angel investment career. So it's actually paramount that you find these few companies that will make the financial return. And I think that if you have a very small portfolio, then of course we all can do the math that it's difficult, more and more difficult to actually find the one company that will make the financial return. So I would say that it's really important to focus on making a good balanced portfolio of reasonable size portfolio and have a good number of companies that you invest into. That's really important, and then you don't have to do that overnight. So you can actually do it over years, and this is how I have, for example, done my business. But it's really important that the portfolio is decent size.
Yeah, I agree. I left out, the most important tip maybe is to spread your risk. So indeed, you need to build a portfolio to spread your risk. And I also think that it's good that when you start angel investing, that you create a strategy up front, including, the amount of investments that you want to make, the allocation of your assets that you allocate to all those investments. So you also know, okay, I can only invest this amount in one deal because I need to make, 20 of them. And then you can also make a strategy of, okay, what companies do I want to invest in, and really focus your sourcing on that. So I agree. That's really important. When I started River Venture Partners, I did just that, creating this strategy to invest in 20 companies. I didn't have, sufficient assets at that moment to invest only myself. So what I created was a syndicate with backers that invested alongside me. And some of those people just really liked to have access to these companies that they didn't have, and they also liked the ability to spread their risk, by co-investing with me in all those deals. So we're now at 15 companies. So we're trying to get to 20 actually this year, and then the next step might be to start a fund. So for me, that would be a new way to build up a portfolio. But
Absolutely.
Indeed, even as a fund, of course, you're also building a portfolio. Yes.
But I think I really agree with you that you need to make a strategy. How much, what's the amount of euros that you are going to invest, and how you are going to spread that, over years and over companies. I think that makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, you will, start easily investing into here and there, and that doesn't necessarily lead into good results.
Yeah. I have one question here. I on the one hand think it's good to spread over different types and segments of companies to also spread your risk. So don't, invest all your money in travel startups, for example. But on the other hand, it might also be interesting to invest in companies that have synergies with each other. And then, they probably have, more a relationship with each other and maybe a little bit more correlated risk. What do you think?
Well, I think, yes, it's absolutely so. However, I would also say that it's possible to invest into companies that you don't necessarily, that are in a segment or industry that you don't know that deeply. Because if you have fellow investors who are deeply involved in that industry, then it's possible to do it, and it's possible to be there as a follow-on investor. But it's difficult to be an investor in a company if you don't understand anything about the industry. Of course, that's absolutely true.
All right. Shall we move to the last topic, cross-border investments? Well, I think that now with COVID and everybody working remote, actually remote investing has become, more easy or more acceptable than ever. And thereby also, making these cross-border investments actually more approachable. I've seen that. I've experienced that. We were investing only in the Netherlands first. Now we have invested in Benelux, in Denmark, in Finland twice. So for me, it basically has opened up, and I think it's really interesting to find these opportunities elsewhere. There's also some risks involved. What do you see as the main risks?
Well, I think this is a trust business. So I think that you need to, know the people you invest with. So if I would be investing in Holland, I would like to invest with the people that I know and know that, they would be able to coach the company to the next level. So I think that's really important. Otherwise, you will run into all kinds of risks in cross-border investing.
True. Jan, do we still have some minutes or?
Nope, unfortunately not. It's tight schedule, and we have only 30 seconds, and then they're gonna cut the broadcasting. So I will thank you, gentlemen, very much for your contribution, and to everybody else behind your screens there. Thank you for today, and see you tomorrow morning. Book your workshop, have your meetings. Let's get busy tomorrow. Thank you again, gentlemen.
Kiitos.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.